planning to travel into Belize during these COVID times? Well, learn from my experience. I'm going to take you through my experience going through the Belize International Airport, landing, coming from Canada, but you can be coming from anywhere, and your experience will probably be just as crazy. I'd love to show you some of the things you can expect so you can be ready and have a great trip in our country. Don't be scared, be smart. See you here in Belize. Enjoy the video and keep it unbelievable. On the plane, before we arrived, we were given some forms. We were given one of these forms per person, told each person had to fill this out, and one of these customs forms that one individual had to fill out per family, the head of the family. So I filled this form out, customs declaration and the information concerning myself, and one of these for the kids. Now, if you look at these closely, for each individual, it says, "Welcome to Belize." The very first thing you see on there, immigration customs form. Every person leaving Belize must provide the following information. Now, I recognize this as something I fill out when I leave, but they insisted that we needed to fill these out, one per person, so I wasted my time doing that. When we got off the plane, clearly there had been other miscommunication on other flights, because there was a guy who greeted us as we were lining up hundreds of people to get through, waving and saying, "You don't need these, you don't need these are for when you're leaving," which is true. You can hold on to them, but they give them to you again when you're about to leave Belize. Instead, he's saying, "You need one of these per person," being the declaration form. When asked why we were told we only need to fill out one, they need these because they need documentation to coincide with their negative COVID test. I asked, do I really need to fill all of this out again for each of my children? No. Just write their name up there so they can stamp it to show that this is a government document with a government seal, so they can show that it was looked at, that our negative COVID test is legit and was accepted and approved, and they'll hold on to that. No problem. Anya on one, Chase on the other, and we went through. Now, if you are Belizean, especially if you're Belizean with clear skin like myself and don't maybe look like the typical Belizean, make sure you let somebody know. There were hundreds of people standing in line. One of the workers there at the airport was coming through looking for Hispanic, Latino people, Creole people, saying, "Hey, are you Belizean? Belizeans, come up this way." Well, I made sure I got into there. We got our Belizean passports. We are Belizeans. And so we skipped over 300 people waiting in line after we got the stamp saying that we were shown to be negative COVID from our test. We skip, and there's only 5 people in front of me when we get up to immigration. This is exciting, so good to be Belizean. I just saved hours of time by having our passports. Life is good. I get up to immigration, and I hand her my declaration form and our passports, and she wants to see the forms for the children. I said, okay, it just has their names on it. Oh, no. You have to fill out the whole form. Well, let's just say in Belize, communication is never quite great, even within 300 meters from different individuals. Carry-on bags and my hot, sticky children find a spot on the floor and continue to fill out the entire form. Once I got the forms filled out, once the lady was free, I went back to her, gave her back the passports and the completed forms. Again, traveling with my children without my husband, I needed to present a document, a letter from my husband that had been signed by a lawyer and stamped, approved, that I had permission to travel without him, with our children. Gave that to her, no problem. Meanwhile, right beside me was a mom from the States, traveling, gonna be hanging out in Belize with her family for a while, And her 17-year-old son was with her without his father, and they didn't have a letter. I heard her explain to them, they've traveled to many places around the world and she's never needed a letter before. In Belize, you need a letter. I don't think that's true. I don't know how that can be true. And so sure enough, they had to get Dad on the phone. They had to give Dad an email address. I don't know if it was for this officer's personal email account, to which he was supposed to send a letter saying that he gives permission for Mom to travel alone with their son, even though he's 17, just 1 year away from 18, and they had to wait there. They were going to have to wait there until they could get verification. I suppose this is a very good thing. We definitely don't want any trafficking of children in Belize, but parents, please don't be ignorant. If you are coming to Belize, you need a signed letter from the parent that is missing, that's not accompanying the children, to sign and have it stamped by a lawyer declaring that this is true. This letter is from the parent saying that you have permission to travel with your children if they're under the age of 18. Once we got through there, by that time, things had taken so long, our luggage was already off the conveyor belt and lined up. We just grabbed our bags and we headed towards customs declaration place. There was only a few people in front of me. I had a ton of things to clear, a lot of them donated items. If you're bringing donated items, there will be duty on them. Unless you have a special letter of exemption from the appropriate government offices, you will have to pay a level of duty on it. Don't try to cheat the system. It's just gonna make bigger problems. Respect those people. Get our bags, we go through. Now here's the deal, they have carts to carry your bags from the conveyor belt about 300 meters to the customs. But once you get past the customs, you cannot take the carts outside. So you have to pay a porter $1 US per bag that you have. Now there is no way I could carry all those bags by myself, and I don't think they were about to let me to carry them all out by myself. So we did indeed get a porter to help carry our bags outside, which is a very helpful service. It is required that you pay them because they are not on salary. Just be aware and prepared for that expense. Hopefully these were some helpful tips on how you can travel to our unbelizeable nation, even during these times of COVID. Remember, don't be scared, be smart, keep it unbelizeable, and get ready to sweat. Stay tuned for another video of where we actually get to be reunited and have some fun as a family. As an unbelizeable family, we're reunited with Daddy and husband back at home in Belize.
Belize is where my heart is. And remember, kids, don't be scared, be smart, and keep it unbelizeable. And also, go back one and see the jello fish video.
Follow us in the next one. We are traveling from the international into Cancun, Mexico, through the land border. And we are going to share with you the experiences, what to do and what not to do. Keep it unbelizeable. And remember, don't be scared, be smart. Ciao!
Hey.
We made it! We made it! Pays to be Belizean, skip the line when you're from the country. Citizens of Belize. Right, how's it feel to be home, Anya?
Great. I just want to sit this and go home.
I know.